Who wants to live to be 100? Let's be honest. I certainly do. I want to see my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and be the patriarch of my family. And my most interview last week with Nick Buettner was a fascinating one, as he and his brother started this Blue Zone Initiative project where they go around the world and they've studied for years and years what makes these mini communities where people are living substantially longer than the rest of the world, 10 times as many centenarians than anywhere else on the planet. And they did a lot of research about what makes their lifestyles so much healthier for longevity and happiness, quite frankly, than you or I. And they call it the Power 9, which I thought is clever and pretty creative. And there were really 9 things that determined the difference between these healthy areas where people are living longer and these areas where people aren't living quite as long. And so what were they? What that made these areas different than your or my communities? So first, pro-movement. So we all know we should exercise more. These areas, it wasn't necessarily all about exercise. It was almost more about pro-movement. They had lifestyles where they were on their feet, not stuck behind a computer all day. They walked to work or school. They did community things all the time. They gardened. They didn't have a landscaper like you or I. They did the doing, and they were a pro-movement lifestyle. So that was the first key. Pro-purpose. These people woke up each day with a purpose, a reason for getting out of bed, a reason for putting their 2 feet on the ground, and they knew it. So it's one thing to know it, but then it's another to live it out. So pro-purpose was a key to longevity and happiness in these communities. Diet. These people ate better. That simple key. More specifically, they were plant-based, which is a term that I've come to adapt in my own life. Not vegan, not vegetarian, but plant-based. And what this means is that 80% or more of your diet is pro-plant. It's not Doritos, it's not meat, and their plates are plant-centric. On average, these communities have meat about 5 times a month. And for me personally, this has helped me in my own life and my own journey and struggles. And one of my closest best friend in the world, Callie Matt, we'll call him, he turned me on to it and said, don't think of it as being a vegan or don't think of it as being vegetarian. Think that you're plant-based. So the core to your meals are plant-focused. Your fridge isn't filled with meats and cheeses, it's filled with plants, fruits, and vegetables, and not cakes and things of that nature. Next key is prosocial. These people believed in community. They believed in being around others, friends, and family that they cared about. And it releases chemicals in your body that make you not only happier, but longevity, as we know. And not only that, they focused on the right social engagement. If your constituents are drinking and smoking and sitting down watching TV all day, and that's your community, that's your social network, well, then it's not quite as healthy as one. But if you find gardening friends or friends that are go for runs or walks or things that are active and promote a healthy lifestyle, that's where these people really live the longest in these communities. Shed the stress, one of the key 9 principles. So what are you doing in your life that these people are doing to shed stress? These people will meditate or slow down for 10 minutes. Meditation has come into my life and certainly helped me with any stress that I've had. And so these communities are focused on and purposely focused on shedding stress in their life. The 80% rule. I talked about a different 80% rule a moment ago. One of the keys to these communities is how they structure their meals, as far as they eat till they're 80% filled, not 100%, or as I tend to do, 180% filled. And so these people will sit here and they know when they're 80% filled, that's good enough. And that's a way that they stay healthy, they stay lean, and they promote a longevity, energized community. Wine time. So we've heard different sides of the alcohol debate. Well, in these communities, it's very customary to have 1 to 2 drinks a handful of times a week. They don't overdo it. Generally, wine, red wine, as we know, is healthiest, and they do it, and they do it with community and friends, not sitting in the dark by themselves. And these people live longer because of good old vino. So pop it open and enjoy as you live forever. The last two that they talked about in their Power 9, as they called it, is belonging to a faith-based community. So something of faith 4 times a week. This again can be more of an internal meditation type thing, or it can be a spiritual community that's important to you, or religious. And so going to something that is spiritual in a community 4 or 5 times a month proves to add years to your life. And the last one, which of course is powerful to me, is surrounding yourself with loved ones. Those that are in these communities that have their parents or children or grandchildren constantly around, they live longer. They live longer because they're happier. They live longer because they have purpose and are filled with love, and just goes to prove that love matters. So those are the key Power 9. The last thing I'll leave you with, which I thought was really impactful in my interview and learning more about the Blue Zones, is you have to be purposeful, and you have to make these things easy. So you make the default lifestyle one of these 9. It's much easier to open the fridge when you're hungry and snag a banana or apple or vegetable, if that's what's in the fridge. It's much easier to walk to school if you don't take your kids and drop them off. So if you purposefully set up your life and structure your life so that the default options are the healthy options, these Power 9 that help you, that the Blue Zone determines help you live forever, well then you're well on your way to a successful, long, happy life. So I hope you enjoyed this. As always, I'm Andrew Rosen, president of Diversified Lifelong Advisors. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, stay happy, and hopefully you'll live a long time like the rest of us. Take care.